We might have some issues today because it seems wonky already, man. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone? Everybody doing okay this morning? Good. It's not exactly morning per se. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to work my way through some stuff here. Wow, well, camera. Y'all let me get situated. Then I'm going to get into a rant. Got to get into position. Everybody hear me? How about a mic check? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Camera looks crooked, don't it? I don't know. Blessed belated Easter to you also, Connie Adams, and everyone else. Hope everybody had a good Easter. Speaking of Easter, big day yesterday, Easter. There was an Easter special. I missed it. I try to catch Easter specials, don't you, Brandie? How about you, Brandie? Nothing. Anyway, Holly, new member. That's the way I like to start my Monday morning. Hell yeah. Welcome, Holly.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, excuse me. Come through.
Trying to make some coffee.
I haven't got your computer out and plugged in and shit for you, so you can be an integral part of the team this morning. Welcome.
Welcome.
How you been? Haven't seen you in a while on the show.
No.
Huh?
I haven't been on for a while, have I?
Uncle Delvin says, yay, Brandie.
Yay.
Must have been pretty rough through those couple without you.
Mm-hmm.
You more cows on the farm. Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. My thumbnail was kind of like a code.
Yeah.
Who broke the code? See, I want everybody to look at the thumbnail to today's live and tell me who can decipher the code.
Put it in the chat.
Let's put it in the chat. Who's first? A correct decipher. Go.
Pretty bad. It took me a couple minutes to get it.
Yeah.
I'm not good at stuff like that.
I can't wait to see who gets it first. I hope everybody's competing. A little help in these dry times. Enjoy.
Thank you for the member. Who
thank
was that?
You, Holly.
Holly, thank you.
Yeah, it's dry times. You got that shit right. Damned inflation.
Yeah, it's affecting everybody. You know?
You may looking at the thumbnail. I hope y'all are. I'd hate to sit here for like 30 minutes and be like, nobody wanted to play along. And we got to have an accurate, in order
answer.
It's going to take some deciphering, but I think you guys can do it. I tell you what, well, let's make it easier and see if I can add it real quick. Well, I think just give me a second.
Okay. So it looks like just describe pictures.
That I'm it's just 30 seconds and we're gonna have it because I don't want you giving it away. Just you zip it. Here it is. Oh yeah, it'll take no time. We're gonna have it in about 10, 8, 7. And we're looking to decipher the pictogram we have there. I don't know if that's the appropriate term, but pictogram, right?
Well, actually, I got that one pretty good. Pretty fast. That one's more easier than some of them.
Have we had any winners? That's something you should be monitoring right now.
I got it pulled up here.
Still no winners. All right, I'll put it back up for y'all. Come on, somebody will get it. Surely.
Cow kissing Candace butt. That's
Tennessee Blonde for the W.
moo. I can't do the moo.
Mm.
He does a good moo. There you go.
I can't get a great one anymore, though. I used to be able to do it better, I feel like.
It would have been better if the cow had a name tag around its neck.
Yeah, but we're just talking in generals today,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
We're not going to
It's a cow.
specify anybody.
You could say farm, like it's a farm animal.
You
Right.
say it's a little, nah, I think those who know, know.
Y'all know.
Right.
Y'all know who we're talking.
And, you know, I want to start off, though. I have a prepared rant, and I want to make sure I got this shit right. So
I'm not prepared, so y'all
I
forgive me.
wrote it down. Okay. I'm telling you. I did come prepared, though. I wrote it down so I'd make sure I got it out correctly. Okay.
Good.
And everybody, scoot the chair up, especially the haters. I'm going to say one thing I hear on the farm constantly is that Dawn and Candace do not owe us an explanation. They don't owe us answers.
No,
They don't have to answer our questions.
Nope.
I'm going to say they do. And I'm going to say they do owe us an explanation. No one on earth would know them if it wasn't for Summer. Don't raise money live on YouTube if you don't want to answer questions. Make videos asking for donations and scrolling cash apps. See how many people watch you then. If people can't ask them questions, nobody gonna watch that shit.
Why are you on YouTube? Really?
You're just on there to ask for donations simply? That's it?
And it would be one thing if maybe they had the boys in their home. They don't even have the boys in their home. Where's that money going to?
Where's it going to?
If they were really working toward getting the boys back, they would have had them back by now. Something is keeping that not happening, you know? My opinion.
And I'm telling you, I think people's already getting tired of that show over at the farm because I see a ton of people in there. Why won't they answer a question? Nobody wants to watch somebody sit there and kiss somebody's ass
constantly
for a long, extended period of time and talk about nonsense.
Candace loves her kids. She took pictures of them all the time. She loves it. Just taking a picture of your kid don't mean you love them.
No, I think a lot of people that take excess pictures of their kids, it's more about showing everybody, look what I've done for my kids. They're out here having fun here and here and here. I think it's more about them than it is the kids.
Then I get, it really gets to me because if she was a great parent, why don't she have any of her 7 kids? None of them.
Not a one.
I'm sorry, there's something wrong.
And if you ask a question, you get blocked. I've seen tons of that already in the stuff we've kind of watched. Because we want to get an idea. We ain't even watched the Easter special.
No, we watched this the other day.
I got better shit to do on Easter than watch Candace on the farm not answer questions. That's what it was.
Yeah, we were watching it.
On Easter.
They blocked somebody right away because they were on somebody else's page.
Yeah.
Saying something. Not bad about them, just saying something about the channel.
But on Easter, they decided on this holiest days, let's have Candace on. And don't bring nothing up and don't ask no questions. And there were people there tickled with the rules. Candace, you look beautiful on this Easter.
Yeah. Why can't we ask her questions? You know, why? She's the one that has a lot of answers to these questions that we need answered.
It's wild, man. It is so wild to me. And I even first look, I want to say, you got to be very delicate with the people you're talking about here, because every other sentence is, I'm going to sue them. Going to be a lawsuit, slander.
Over and over.
If you call out the stuff they're doing, you're going to get a threat of that nature. I can't stand that. I don't think that's very Christian to me. Somebody that's constantly threatening to sue people, take your livelihood because you said something they didn't like.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I guess I don't know. I was Methodist, so maybe it's different. I don't know. I was raised a Methodist. My grandma, devout Methodist.
Yeah, I was too.
But it doesn't seem very Christian to me.
No.
That's all I'm saying. Moving forward, though,
it's all about Summer bringing attention to her case. No, it's not. It's just chit chatting. That that does not help her case one bit. Nothing.
They don't talk about Summer at all that I've seen.
Yeah, why?
Given I like fast forward through and just try to see highlights because there's so much of just Candace worship, we'll call it, that goes on.
Who would really want to know more? Well, some people might want to know more about Candace and Don. Everybody knows everything about them by now. If it's not a question relating to Summer, who cares? Well, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, these people have rap sheets longer than John Holmes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're on Easter, you're going to bring them on to, I guess, scroll cash apps. That's all I can figure it was for.
They're like,
but they were saying, it's Easter. Everybody's going to be like, oh, I got to be extra good on Easter, so I'm going to donate some money to a worthy cause.
I don't know. They're very two-faced, too.
But I'm going to play a clip, and Brandie just said this. I want you to tell me. Now, a lot of all they talk about is people pick on them and they're victims and all this. And watch this.
And guess what? I'm going to make them even madder. Hang on. This one burns on up. Cash app for Candace. Anybody wants to help Candace? There's cash app.
This is going to burn Prayer Garden up, is what she said.
So she was being petty because she knows it makes Prayer Garden mad. She's going to use that as a reason to scroll Candace's cash app to get at Prayer Garden.
Yeah, that's what really hurt feelings.
But she's innocent in all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody picks on her.
Why does Candace need donations? Summer's not in the home. The boys are not in that home.
It's just her and Dawn. They have an average age of mid-40s. Damn sure they can take care of themselves. Right?
Oh.
And I want to say something else. All this bullshit about you can't get a job. Work from home. Tons of work from home jobs available.
Yeah. Right now, it's a great time to get a job. Everybody's looking for somebody,
Oh, well, this Apple seen my name and they was like, that's her. No, that ain't how it works. I'm sorry. I don't buy that shit. But yesterday, Easter was used to spend with Candace.
Which I understand, like a channel's gonna do whatever they got to do to kiss somebody's butt so they'll be
No,
on the
they're
channel.
not.
Well,
I don't
some
understand
channels,
that.
some.
You would never.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't do that. But it's happened over and over and over again with them. Really?
If they were innocent, I wouldn't worship them like that.
No.
Because look at what's led up to all this, how they've lived their lives. You can't lose your daughter and then become a saint and expect everybody to buy that. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. And I want it. And they always talk about Candace getting upset on these shows. How do you know? Because
She's never on there. People
I
talking
seen
for
a
her.
video of her crying like you would have thought her leg was cut off, and it was fake. It
Mhm.
was a prank that they did to Dawn's sister after Summer went missing. So I wouldn't know. I couldn't be around her. Wouldn't know when she was putting on, when she wasn't. It's ridiculous.
It's easy to control the narrative when you have the mute button, really.
And thank you. That's a good point.
And the block button.
That's how these people operate. Jody Sue, you got to subscribe for 2 weeks just to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Because your shit ain't getting on there. It ain't getting answered. It ain't getting responded to. It's booted.
People don't like hard questions they don't have an answer for, period, I think.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Or they would answer it. It really made me mad. This has really made me mad. They were trying to compare her being on Dr. Phil as a sideshow, like it was Jerry Springer.
Yeah. They acted like the Wells were disrespected on the Dr. Phil show. What the hell did they watch? They obviously didn't watch it.
No.
And are lying. Because they were in no way portrayed bad in that. I thought they come out of that smelling like a rose. I was like, that's a win for them.
Yeah.
And they acted like they were victims on freaking Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil was probably wanting a lot more out of them. They just wouldn't cooperate. And that's what, they got off, they put out. You couldn't get cancer any questions, really.
No.
So
Spoke. It was yes, no, I don't know. That was it. And they acted like, oh man, it was just a sideshow. Because I want them to go on Wilco's and take a lie detector. You can think whatever you want. They're going to get a legitimate lie detector there. That's the end game. Okay. If they could pass the one on Wilco's, I would have to rethink my stance. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Then you think, as a parent of a missing kid, I would never want to put myself in that predicament. But if you think about it, what would you use YouTube for? You'd be talking about your kid, trying to find what happened to your kid, not sitting there and just talking about nothing and laughing, having a good old time. And that's what they do. It's all a game.
Well, if I was innocent as hell, the first thing I'd do is prove that shit. I'd be on Wilco's, Dr. Phil. Hook me up.
I would be too. Any lie detector test, give it to me.
Because as soon as everybody realizes I don't have nothing to do with it, they're going to concentrate on maybe who does.
Yeah.
If I was them, I would use my YouTube popularity to prove my damn innocent, not avoid answering people's questions and then expecting money in a cash app.
Yeah. And
they're killing it, doing it the way they are. So, all you people donate money, good job. You're stopping the rest of us from ever finding out what happened.
Just a joke. A joke.
It is a joke, man. And it's a joke, but some of it I think is kind of because there's players that have only been to that channel and don't have any knowledge of what all has really happened. Oh, let's go here. Hold on. Whoa. I got one more small clip I have to play before we go any further. Then we'll squash this. Okay. Where's that?
I'm probably getting tired
Here
of
it
this
is.
talking about.
Grow up like I
Here it
did.
is.
They lived in a damn mansion compared to what I grew up in. Why you sitting here talking shit when you don't know nothing
Candace,
about the way
be
they
strong.
grew up?
Restart it. Listen to this craziness.
Grow up like I did. They lived in a damn mansion compared to what I grew up in. Why you sitting here talking shit when you don't know nothing
Candace,
about the way
be
they
strong.
grew up?
That was Daisy saying that the kids grew up in a mansion compared to what she did. I told Brandie yesterday when we heard that the first time, I said, what? She grew up in a dirt hole?
A pig pen? Really? Think about it.
I mean, because of the comparison she makes, right? That it would be a palace compared to where she grew up. Now, I'm not comparing their house to a dirt hole, but the way Daisy makes it out,
that's how she compares it.
If their house is a mansion, then Daisy must have grew up feral in a cave with a candle and a bale of hay.
Mm-hmm. And
or she's embellishing.
You know, and we're not trying to be hard on their living conditions, but even
don't get on there and act like
DHHR said the living conditions were bad, poor, and they try to get families to keep their kids, not take them, because they don't have a lot of room for them. So
there you go. There you go. Oh, great point. So just because you were neglected doesn't mean the Wells kids deserve that.
Amen.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And bullshit about what she said. And that's just another example of going that extra mile to get them lips positioned on that behind. That you don't have to go, I don't think.
No.
I don't think you have to go that hard to get her to come on your show and run her cash out. So don't act like you're the victim. Point number one. Point number two, you get into it just as much as PG. So don't act like that.
Right.
Point number three, they do owe everybody answers if they're going to stay on YouTube live, mind you, scrolling cash apps.
I agree. So.
And I want to say something to everybody, y'all, too. If you ever watch somebody and you notice that their comments are turned off all the time, you didn't follow.
Yeah, they're hiding them. Really?
Yeah, they're trying to brainwash your ass.
Yeah.
A cult's what you're in.
Hiding shit.
If you gotta subscribe for 6 months before you can ask a question,
there's a problem.
There's reasons for that. Something ain't right.
Freedom of speech. Everybody should be able to say what they want to say.
Somebody says, get your attention.
My attention.
Look at your messengers. They sent you a pic.
Oh. John's messenger or mine? Yeah, she said she was sending a picture of puppy
Maybe
ears.
John Davis True Crime Messenger. Hold on, we're intrigued now.
Sorry, we're getting into this shit. Burns us up. I'm sorry, it burns both of us up.
Oh, it ain't getting in nothing. It's just pointing out a fact that's just wild to act like the victim and do the stuff they do. And then
Linda Wilson said, first of all, if I had a missing child and if I went with YouTube, I would be telling every Steph every minute of the day where I was and what we've done. Yeah, I agree. To get your kid back. You wouldn't sit there and not answer any questions. I think I misread that one word. It might have been spelled wrong.
I don't have no picture on that.
Did you send it to, who did you send it to?
Monitor that situation.
Okay.
Don says he works all the time, so why do they ask for money? Now, I'm sure their argument is going to be, well, we ain't asking for money. Daisy's just doing it out of the goodness of her heart. And Daisy's going to say, yeah, they ain't never said nothing. Believe what you want. Believe what you will. I challenge them to go do a couple without the Cash App.
Yeah. Did you send it my messenger, maybe? I'm looking.
Let's have a no Cash App challenge. All right.
I don't see it. Let's see.
I couldn't find it.
Try to send it to the email. We can pull that up.
That was on Tim Mullen's page. Was it the Easter thing, Mama Mia?
It might
I don't want to say your name.
She put it under a different name, she said.
In 50 days, you'll understand why I did this.
Is that it? Maybe.
I grew up poor. My dad hurt. His back was out of work, but our house was clean. We had food, maybe not the best, but we had food and we had to live in our home, and that's all that's important. Yeah.
A lot of us probably grew up where it was tight, but you still had a clean house and a home to live in, you know, even if you didn't have a lot.
And you know, like we moved around a lot when I was young, and paint ain't expensive. We'd move into a house, and the first thing my mom would do would be paint the whole damn house,
Yeah.
renovate it, and it's not expensive.
Just
And
putting
you'd
paint
be
on the wall.
surprised how much better anything looks with a fresh coat of paint on it. Like I said,
Tons better.
well, how much was the last gallon we bought? You do a room in a gallon,
You can get a cheap gallon under $20, probably.
$20. People act like they were dirt poor, and I've already put an end to that. I thought $34,000 a year ain't bad.
Especially when you own your home and everything. Being poor isn't an excuse to be lazy. I agree. 100%. And those kids should have had better, you know, lived in better conditions.
Well, you know, I feel like the reason that Candace owes some answers is because she lied to everybody about the story. We know the story ain't true.
Yeah.
So if she would just tell the truth about what did happen and
Yeah.
how long Summer was out of her sight,
People might believe her a little bit better.
maybe people could get behind her. But she told a lie. When she told the story, she told a lie about walking her to the porch. That didn't happen.
2 minutes.
We know that didn't happen. 2 minutes. We know that didn't happen. When you start out with a lie, don't expect people to feel sorry for you or support you. And there's a lot of them.
I would believe her a lot more if she told the truth. You know, what does she have to lose now? She has no kids. You know, just come forward with the truth.
Yeah.
Instead of there was a 2 minute time period, 2 hour maybe she fell asleep or something. She got away. You know, I would believe that more than what she's saying.
A woman that sleeps in church, and this is why Summer's running around during services and everything. And I'm not saying anything bad about Summer for doing that, because
No,
if I was a
she's
kid and I could, I
I
would
would.
have too.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I would have made it about 2 seats down on my pew, for my grandma would have busted my ass for running around in church.
I'd be like, let's go outside.
Or,
no,
yeah.
I don't want to go outside.
We had a room, like you got out of the church.
Yeah,
there was a
we did
room,
too.
and then outside of that was outside. So I think that was a buffer for whoever to take you out there and get up in your ass real good without church hearing. You know?
Yeah, because you do not act like that in church.
You do when your mother's sleeping.
Oh, yeah. And your dad don't really care.
And I have never seen anybody like straight up gangster relax like she does at church. Ever. Have
that
you
would
ever
be
seen that in church?
That's embarrassing. Why would you even come to church if you're not there to get the message? Really?
Then tell the story of being a helicopter parent. We know you're lying. And I can't get past the fact that you're lying to believe anything.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Because anybody, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to think, look, when it comes to finding my child, I'm going to tell the truth no matter how bad it makes me look, because that's going to give the best chance of my child being found. You chose not to do that. You chose to worry about yourself. I want to look like freaking June Cleaver. And it came off as soon as 90% of people that watched that, it came off as bullshit before we even knew she slept in church. Everybody's like, you're way the hell out in the country. And you're going to walk a child that short of a distance
Where you can see.
to return in 2 minutes?
No.
So if you're lying about that, tell us the truth about what happened, how long she was missing before you realized, and maybe people can get.
If she gave the true time, just think maybe law enforcement would have more to go on tracking somebody down that really, if somebody really did take her. Really, you know?
That helicopter mom got to church and crashed.
Yeah, crashed and burned right there in front of everybody.
Right there in the pew.
Whoever took that footage, I'm glad they did put that out there.
Who would pull a hoodie over their head and spread out like you're on your own couch? Thank you.
The Wells.
That is just, I tell you what, it must be nice to be that confident in yourself, though. To where you don't give a shit what nobody thinks.
Just sit back and relax.
Just Purdue.
I wouldn't even do that at somebody's home, like my friend's house. Why would you do that at church?
I like to see the video up before that. You reckon it was something like this? Like she's sitting there and she's like, Don, wake me up when this shit's over.
Yeah. Watch
Yeah.
your daughter. Watch Summer.
Watch kids, Don. I'm terrible hungover this morning. I'm surprised she was awake yesterday on Easter.
Yeah, me too.
You think she'd have slept right through Easter the way church boards are so bad? She'd have missed Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up today. Woo. Damn. Feeling good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Candace like a grown-up honey boo-boo.
Oh. Wow.
Wow. That was an Easter special. I don't know what was so special about it.
See, I didn't watch it. What were they doing over there?
I caught like 10 minutes of it, man. No, not even that, like 5. And that was like jumping back and forth. And every time I jumped, it was something just boring as hell. Some Candace worship. The other day, me and her was scrolling through it just to see if we could find anything of use. And there's this one woman, she's like, Candace, you are absolutely beautiful. I mean, knockout gorgeous. And I was like, what? Come on. I'm not calling nobody ugly or nothing, but ain't that a little over the top?
Yeah. Yeah, really.
I bet the Kardashians ain't got such a comment.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Stop, y'all. I just got to say something. Candace, you're so beautiful. You look so beautiful today. To be beautiful, I think your personality has to match. No.
there you go. There you go.
To be a true beautiful person. Not just the outside, but inside.
I still can't believe Dawn turned down the Cold Case Foundation. That says
Yeah.
a lot to me.
Wouldn't you as a parent be taking every opportunity for somebody to help you find your kid? I know I would.
I tell you too, I was looking at the chatters that are over there.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple spies.
Hi, Spice.
Yeah. Because I've noticed them on our stuff a lot, and I know you don't, there's no way you could like us both.
Mm-mm.
Those are like two extreme ends of the spectrum.
Black and white. White and black.
Yeah.
No gray. Gray.
There's no gray area in there. people giving money to individuals who are still suspects, and they will keep that gravy train going forever and still no somber. Really disgusting and sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. That and it, like I said, you like Daisy wants to make jokes out of that shit, like as a way to pick on the prayer garden to throw that cash app up. Okay, what she's doing is it's hurting us ever finding something.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And if she thinks that they're not using her, you got something, you know.
Oh yeah.
You're not thinking right, because they are using you. You know,
the first time she ever decides to stand behind something, you know, it's gonna be the but I don't know. Apparently, it looked like I was watching an invertebrate the other night, like no spine.
Yeah.
So it could last forever. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
I think they should have to answer the hard questions. You know, who else is going to answer them?
Mama Mia, I don't know what to think about that picture. I think it's some kind of Easter reference. I don't get the 50 days.
Explain it to us. I'm sorry. Oh, I was getting some coffee out there.
I wish I would have had it before the show so I could have showed to everybody, but that takes me a minute. They don't want justice because it leads back to them is the only expectation that makes sense to me. Yes, thank you. Here, give me a refill too. I mean, it's not rocket science when you get to it, I don't believe, you know. But I just think it's you know, and she says this, she does it to piss Prayer Garden off. Well, she gets to a lot of us. So probably shouldn't have mentioned that. It'll start happening more. Summer's case is closed in the whale's eyes. It feels like that sometimes. I'm telling you, it feels like there's just, especially when the last time I heard Don talk about it, he was talking about no evidence, nothing, not a hint of anything, zero. You know.
My opinion that Candace and Dawn gave up finding Summer a day after she went missing.
Yeah, it's what it felt like, ain't it?
Yeah. They had no hope. You know?
I feel like they were trying to calm down the investigation from the beginning. It's even like Don says in that one interview, he says, well, they got to investigate, but I told them she's nowhere near here. I tried to tell them. They're still searching, but, you know, I tried to tell them.
Why would you say that? Why would you know that?
You wouldn't feel like, I swear, it feels like he was discouraging searching to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't believe if you honestly don't know, right? I mean, you have a feeling about anything, right? Even if I had a feeling she was abducted, but I didn't know anything and have no insider knowledge, I would be so happy they were searching anywhere.
Yeah, hope finding her. My mind goes through, if my little girl went missing, she ran off, she's in the woods, she got lost somewhere. That, you know, it wouldn't go to somebody took her, you know, especially where they live.
Hey, Mama Mia, look and see when 50 days from yesterday is, what day that falls on. I'm telling you, everything common sense wise points to they know, man. It just does.
They know something we don't know.
Right? And yes, they have it. Candace, and I'll still stand by this because I've always said it. Dawn could possibly be this naive or this
Or wants to be naive.
ignorant.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean. But he possibly could be that he's not in on it or doesn't know anything. Candace knows something. Even if that something is I was gone for 2 hours doing
Something.
this, when I come back, she was gone. She knows that.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, she knows what she told everybody, the news, everybody is the truth.
Yeah.
And I really get the damn feeling the way Grandis describes things, she just knows the story. She doesn't know the experience of it. She knows the story is how she feels to me. And both of those together make me think Candace knows what's up. She knows.
And if you think of this, who would tell, like the same people in that position, who would tell the same story? Everybody would have their own point of view. Nobody would sit there and tell exactly the same story at exactly the same time frame. You know, I might say, yeah, you know, I watched her walk back to the door. It might have been, you know, a couple minutes, but no, all of them exactly 2 minutes. You know,
It's an exact story.
so
It's weird that Don tells it as good as he does,
Mhm.
considering he wasn't there.
yeah, he wasn't even there. How do you know that happened without?
She went out the basement door, which was unlocked.
How do you know that? You weren't there, were you?
I would like.
Grandis wasn't there.
I need to make a video.
In
The
their
top
house.
5,000 things the Wells have said that make me question their honesty. You know, because I swear, I believe I've seen so much now. I could probably come up. I could do 100 inconsistencies
Mhm.
easy.
All it would take is Candace coming out and saying, "Yeah, I was lying. You know, I wanted to look like a good parent, but I fell asleep and it was really like an hour or two, and she was missing." I would believe her then, maybe.
I dropped her off. I went and done something. I come back, she was not there. It's something like that,
Mhm.
you know.
What do you guys think? I bet y'all think similar, probably. I'm sure. It's just a story. Don't make no sense from the very beginning.
Here's a good one. Who do y'all think was in the car up front with CB in the last known video? I tell you, at the beginning I thought that was a conspiracy theory. Then I myself made that video where I compared like 4 or 5 people. I don't think it was anybody in my video. Do you? I don't know.
I don't know who it was either.
I definitely can say though I don't know 100% it was Grandis.
Then you come back to that, like, why was that video there? Why was it taken? Why was she wearing long sleeves? Why was she propped up on the milk?
Yeah.
There's an issue with that too.
And I thought about this too. Like they acted like they just missed it, right?
Mhm.
Well, you tell me a kid's going to be sleeping like this and drop that, and that's not going to cause them to like reposition at all or nothing. It's just she's going to stop because she never moved in the frame whatsoever. I think if they just missed, it's what they said, right? So if a kid's hands come all the way from behind their bed, their head, and go down into their lap, they're not just going to drop and
like a statue.
that's a statue, right? They're going to be repositioning because that, you know, that's going to be enough. And she never moved a peck in that video.
Especially laying on milk. You would have to reposition how that milk was stacked up there.
It makes
No
zero sense. That's why we know that almost for a certain there's a lie about that video. Why are you lying once again? Don't you agree though that like you wouldn't drop from there to straight down and just freeze frame?
Yeah, they just missed it. No, they would see some movement, you know, her reposition herself or something, you know.
Yes.
And why would you want a video of that anyways?
Well, I could see taking a picture of that. I could, you know, but that's bullshit. And especially like she was like leaned over what we did see, but that's just not natural for you to fall asleep like that or even sit like that. In that position, you wouldn't do that. That whole thing is bullshit. Why are you lying?
Especially on milk jugs. Just think about it. That wouldn't be comfortable anyways.
No. No, and the milk jugs, if her hands were behind her head, then she wasn't even on the milk jugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me she fell into the milk jugs and that wasn't enough to cause her to reposition either? Because all that would have had to have happened right before that started, according to them. None of that's true. So if that's a lie, what else is a lie? And people are still buying this shit. John Davis 50 Days is May 29th, Memorial Day.
Hmm. Let's wait and see. 50 days.
Yeah, that's weird. Hey, you know what? I don't think I showed this that you found. I think I got it on here. I meant to show it before. Said talking about Summer's case. Oh man, do I not have it?
What was it?
Yeah, there it is. This is a picture Brandie found of one of the suspects in Summer's case that I hadn't seen before. That's Dave Dotson.
That's weird.
Tell me that ain't some creepy shit he's wearing. What is that? Is he at some kind of medieval festival or what? Is that straight up? What's that all about?
Yeah, they're dressing up for something, but I'm sorry, that creeps me out. He creeps me out. I hate to say anything about somebody, but
that's the wife, right?
Yeah, look how young she looks. You know, maybe he has a fetish for younger women. Who knows?
The garb kills me, man. I don't get that at all. Mm-hmm. I don't get if he is at a medieval festival. What is he, the executioner?
I guess. I guess law enforcement looked at him because he would be a good suspect. I know they have, but.
Okay, that's what it is, because if you look at the people in the background, I see some. Look at that big dress there. He's LARPing. He's out LARPing.
Yeah.
LARPing.
We can't say anything bad about that, maybe, but his attire is kind of weird.
He's definitely the bad guy. He's playing the bad guy.
I'm sorry, that creeps me out. That she looks like she's 13. That girl, his wife. Don't she?
I'm young though.
Yeah, very young.
I think she is pretty young from what seems like I've heard. That is not Hogwarts wear.
Yeah, really.
It's creepy though, ain't it?
Maybe that's the last outfit that he could find at the store that day. Dress up.
Yeah, he didn't plan well for the LARPing, so he had to get his
wardrobe.
I'm trying to figure out what he's put together there.
It had a better picture of his full picture, like more of that, but I don't know where it was. But
I had to crop it to make it fit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's solid black, the whole thing. Missy Jessie, welcome. Glad you could be with us today.
If you're into that, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird though, yeah.
No, don't act like me and you wouldn't consider a good medieval festival, because we would. Me and Brandie loved the era of knights and all that good shit. But odds of us dressing up for it,
not likely.
Not as, yeah. Probably. I'd go though with you to see, to walk around and play.
Yeah.
Good time. I'm not knocking on him for that. I just think he chose a weird ass outfit. I don't know who he was trying to be. That's executioner garb, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So it's weird.
I don't know that he's a great suspect either. Do you? He's an odd cat, but a great suspect, I'm not sure. Let's not forget either, guys. Boy's trial underway.
Today, yeah, did it start back today?
Start back today. Where they off was, there was a couple bombshells on the last days.
Like they could prove that they're no longer with us by the evidence they had. I did see that. What else?
What was it they said? They said that the oldest boy seen the other one pass,
Pale.
right?
Very pale. And
Then later heard a thud and the other one was gone. So that the oldest one is the 10-year-old, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I feel bad for him going through all that.
You know, I didn't think, I don't know, it's like I wasn't thinking about it. And I thought, 10-year-old, how much would they notice? And then I thought, goodness, my little girl's 9. She would have caught on to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So she could be a good witness. I'm thinking this kid could too.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what they got them by the most is these boys.
Also, so they can testify the boys was never at the new home. So the older kids.
And this is going on maybe right now. They said they're starting off Monday with a video.
An hour-long video.
An hour-long video and a witness.
I just don't understand. Why do these people get these boys? You know, I guess it's the money, but...
Oh, tell them about your friend. What she's tried to do and couldn't.
Oh, yeah. We were best friends, but I just seen her at a baseball game. But she's been trying to adopt for 10 years. She's $30,000 into it. Still don't have a kid. So...
She's paid that much money.
$30,000 to get a kid and still hasn't got one.
And her best friend is a really good person. Her and her husband. Her husband is what was it?
He was in the Coast Guard. He retired.
He's a retired Coast Guard man. She's a great person. These are great people. They've spent 30 grand and ain't got a kid, but yet the Wests had 4 and were paid for taking them.
It don't make sense.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Not at all. She loves kids. Like, she homeschooled her kids. Well, the younger ones, but they go to school now. But it's just crazy. People that want a kid can't get one.
That's horrible, though, ain't it?
Yeah.
And the disparities, like...
There's enough kids in this world without homes that you shouldn't even have to pay for a kid, you know? If you want one.
The government should have some system set up to where somebody's like, I need a kid. And they're like, all right, we got one waiting. We'll bring him straight to you.
After they do
After your checks, of course.
Study and that crap, you know?
Right.
And the process shouldn't be that long either after they cleared the person.
Yeah, just having you let me investigate somebody for 5 days and I could tell you if they're good or not.
Yeah, what kind of person they are.
And then people, make them well-paying positions, but have if you screw up, you're fired.
Yeah, it's awful. These kids go through a lot before they're even eligible to be adopted. They usually have to be in foster care 6 months or more.
Yeah, and the longer they're in foster care, and everybody will agree, the system has issues. That's putting them at risk of, by the time the adopted parents get them, something traumatic happening to them.
Yeah, and it ruins the rest of their life, So they're already been through a lot, most of them. So, so it's awful.
The youngest was at the home for 4 days. That's where they found evidence. Also, one of them made it, one of them didn't, is what they're saying.
Yeah, because they keep on bringing up the
dirty diaper.
There's a dirty diaper, and they have presents in their name. Who cares?
Yeah.
That could have been faked.
So far, early in the trial, that's been their thing. The early the fact that there were presents with their names on it.
In the diaper. I'm sure they could tell that diaper if it came from one of those boys and how old it was.
How old it was.
I would like to know. So.
I guarantee. I cannot believe that Sincere and Classic were deceased 3 months before these darn monsters reported them missing. Yeah.
I guess they were planning and trying to figure out how we're going to cut up. When are we going to do it?
My only thing is, the reason I might not have trouble believing that is everything they did sucked. Yeah. I can't believe they worked it out in their head for 3 months and come up with what they came up with.
Yeah, even law enforcement said they wanted to arrest them that day. It wasn't right. The dogs didn't get a scent. No footprints in the dirt. Not, so even from day one, something wasn't right. They could have planned a little bit better of a cover up, you would think, right?
Oh, most definitely,
Their
man.
story sucks.
It's awful, and they had all that time, and that's what they come up with. Is crazy. I know.
Yep.
I'd like to think. Well, no, I wouldn't do that. And I tell you, anytime a parent waits to report it makes you think there's no reason to even consider that they're not the ones who did it.
Yeah. Because like we've said before, 10 minutes when your kid's gone, there's something wrong,
Yeah, if it's over an hour for sure, you got to start questioning why are you waiting?
Some of these people months, weeks.
Especially like little kids, ones that can't even survive on their own.
You got to cook for them, change
You
your
got to have
diapers.
a really short window that you could not know where they're at. And we was watching Dr. Phil yesterday, and this dude had brought his family to his sister's house for Thanksgiving. Okay, his 2.5-year-old ends up getting like burnt by the treadmill from getting stuck under it. And this guy was like, it was his sister's fault. And he couldn't believe, I mean, he was mad at his sister over this. And I just couldn't help thinking at 2.5,
that's your responsibility.
I would not be letting my kid roam my sister's house.
No, I'll be watching it.
And Dr. Phil never brought that up one time. He kind of danced around it,
Mm-hmm.
but he never would just say that to the dude. What do y'all think about that? You take your family somewhere for Thanksgiving, your 2.5-year-old child gets injured and you're not around. Who's the most responsible in that situation? It's got to be the parent, Mike.
Yeah, unless they're like, hey, here's my kid, could you keep an eye on them, unless they ask. But if not, yeah, it's the parent. Should be looking after their kid.
A 2.5-year-old's a burden to put on somebody too, because they are super damn mobile, but they ain't real safe.
Yeah.
So that's like a bad age. There's no way I'd let my 2.5-year-old loose in somebody's house.
No, every couple of minutes I'd be saying, Taylor, just seeing where she was when she's that little, if I didn't hear her,
Shit, Taylor get bored in the next room, be outside on you before you know it.
Yeah.
Always the adult in charge. Yeah, always, to me, it starts with the parent, There was another kid in that room when it happened, but I don't see how you can put it on that kid to watch a 2.5-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got a treadmill, and I've told Taylor a million times, do not get near it playing. I've always worried about hair getting caught in it. But this little boy, they said he was reaching underneath it to get a ball, and it's like his face was burnt, and his neck and his shoulder. It was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the weird thing, the parent was all telling the sister, to not have that treadmill on. He knew it was a danger.
That's what he said. Sister don't remember that conversation. Well, then I damn sure would be watching my kid extra careful if I already knew there was danger in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I'll tell you another story I was watching on YouTube. This is awful, but I think it's a Dateline episode. But a family had 2 kids in that, two. They let the mom watch the older one, and somehow he drowned on her watch, right, and died. The 2-year-old. Then the mom was pregnant at the time, had another baby. They let her watch the new baby again. She left her out in the car, and she died. The grandma, 2 of their kids, both of them, killed both of them.
In separate incidents?
Yes, 2 separate incidents.
How was the first one?
2.5, and then the mom was pregnant with the baby. Then after she gave birth to the baby, it was like 6 months old. She let the mom watch the baby, and she forgot her in the car and left her in the garage, and she died. So the first one drowned. The second one, yeah. Could you imagine? That's awful.
So the grandma was
The
one
grandma.
in charge
Yeah,
when
both
two
times.
of her children died.
Yep.
Oh, I never seen that. What was that on?
I seen it on YouTube. I think it's gonna be a Dateline. It's newer. So is that crazy? They're suing
Was it
her.
the heat in the garage?
Yeah, the windows were up.
They're suing the grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, to hell with that. No.
So
The parents should go to jail in my book for being that bad at making decisions. I'll be damned if somebody was responsible for one of my kids dying, if they would ever have a chance
yeah.
to do it again.
And the mom's like, yeah, I didn't really trust her, but I give her another chance.
What the parents seem like? Did it show
They
that?
act like they're okay. You know, you love your mom, dad, and you try to give them a chance, and
I don't
they
know.
failed twice.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy? 2 kids, both of them gone.
and you would think, especially though, in grandma's case, if it had happened to her once, she would be just uber
Yeah.
careful from that point on.
And that baby was in there, she said, a good 45 minutes. She had went in the house, made her something to eat, was practicing the piano, and
What did it die of?
heat exhaustion.
In the car, in the garage?
It's like 90 degrees. The windows were up in the garage, so it was like probably 100 and some. 6-month-old. Isn't that awful?
Wow. Well, think about this. Well, how old was it? 6 months? But if it was bigger, it could have drowned too, made its way to the pool in that amount of time.
Yep. So.
That's awful, man. That's sad. I would hate to be those parents. I damn sure wouldn't be suing my mom, though.
And grandma having to live with that. You know, she probably didn't intentionally do it. She probably.
I don't have much sympathy for her when it happened to her twice.
Yeah, you would be definitely careful if you got another chance to watch your grandkid.
Yeah. You would think, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Guys, I'm going to sign off with Summers Amber, which is still active, by the keep your eyes open, guys. Even though Dawn and Candace seem to think there's no hope, we still think there's always hope until it's proven that there isn't. Everybody needs to keep their eyes open. Hopefully, hopefully all the publicity the parents get will help Summer's story in the long run.
Good or bad, people are still talking about
good or bad. Exactly right. She's been missing for almost 2 years. So that's one thing I want to say is all the publicity that Dawn and Candace get is actually really good. I don't know that you have to be on.
All it takes is one tip, one thing to break it open.
Yeah. So with her name out there and them out there, it's still helping her cause in the long run. I think it has to, right?
I feel bad being mean about Candace and Dawn, but it's my honest truth. I would expect somebody to talk about me like that if I was in their shoes, really, and did the things they've done.
I'm not going to wish harm on the people at all. I don't do that. But to me, the hero worship shit that goes on over there is just ridiculous. It's different between but then just
kissing somebody's butt.
Yeah, it's too much. What's going to happen? You come out and find out something horrible happened, and then you have helped keep the party going for months, years. Who knows when this could end?
Yeah. Over there on that channel, this is what will happen. Something will come out like the farm lady says, and Dawn and Candace will be mad and won't talk to her anymore. So that'll probably be what happens.
It'll be on to the next.
Yeah. So
I just suggest everybody think about what they're doing, and think about, the obvious too. If any of these people that Dawn and Candace come on their shows really cared about them, the first thing they would do is get them both in rehab and get them straightened out and that would be what you would do to really help somebody. Help them get a job.
But they won't
Find them work.
But they have to be ready to help themselves, and they're not really.
That's exactly right. But you can't just sit there and enable people forever.
No.
You know, eventually that's going to come to an end. If you really want to help them, think of something long term, like a job.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks to all the members. Thanks to our new member, Holly.
Thank you, Holly.
We appreciate everybody that views, shows up, chats, all you guys. And
we do.
We'll see you guys next Monday at 11 as usual, but we're going to try to do another one this week.
Yeah, definitely.
Come at y'all in the PM.
Yeah. But y'all have a good rest of your day.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.